We live.
Hey everyone, happy Last Call Sunday. It's the Prep Queen, Ariel Epstein. We are taking you through the next about 45 minutes. We've got some really great guests as always joining the show today to give you guys the sharp sides of the day and some best bets. So Yanni the Greek going to be first as always. John Murray coming on from the Superbook at the Westgate in Las Vegas to tell you all the needs. And then David Delano going to give us his best bets and answer your questions in the chat. Get the chat going because you guys know that if there are questions, we'll ask Yanni those questions. We'll ask John Murray those questions. We will ask David Delano those questions. I love getting the look at both sides. You guys know Yanni comes on the show, tells us where all the sharp groups are. John Murray gives us the sportsbook perspective, and David Delano is going to help us out with all of the sides that he feels are the best for today. So make sure to stay tuned. Get involved in the chat. Good morning to everybody. Kelly in Vegas is in the chat. She said she needs winners after yesterday. I have a little bit of a cold, so bear with me. The Baltimore Ravens did me no favors. They made me get sick to my stomach. They made me get sick with a cold because I decided to sit out in the stupid cold weather on Thanksgiving. Instead of being warm in grandma's house, I decided to go to the Ravens game in 15-mile-an-hour winds and 25-degree weather. So now I'm sick, but it's fine. We're going to cash make some money today. Joe Madden also in the chat from here at WagerTalk saying let's make some freaking money today. Have an amazing show. Kelly said that was an awful game. Yeah, thanks, Kel. Appreciate that. How do I deal with a pissed off wife? Kelly, answer in the chat for a pissed off wife. She'll know how to get her more pissed off. Actually, that's what Kelly does, is she knows how to make you more pissed or her more pissed. So you should definitely do that. Chelsea versus Arsenal kicks off in 30. So John Murray comes on in 20 minutes. So we'll make sure to ask John what his thoughts are because he loves that form of football. Actually, way more than the American football. But you know who loves American football? Yanni the Greek, who's going to join us right now, live from Las Vegas. Yanni. Oh, the Phillies hat is back in action. Happy Sunday. Action.
On fire. I said Thanksgiving weekend is one of the best for football. It's just like the bowl games, a much different market you're dealing with. And so far, we've delivered 15-7 on NFL and college football, 68%. And if you go over to WagerTalk.com right now, I gave out some free premiums for you guys. I don't know if they started yet, but I gave out a handball lock like yesterday in handball in Germany, that cashed. I have basketball in Argentina, and I have hockey in France. So there's French hockey, Argentinian basketball, and handball in Germany. I put out some of them for free. I don't know if they started or if they're still available, but head on over to WagerTalk for those.
Oh my gosh, you're hilarious.
We're here to cash today.
That is so funny. I mean, no surprise at all because we know that that's the kind of stuff that Yanni loves to make some money on. But the people in the chat, they're definitely here to make some money off the NFL. And now that we did have a little bit of Thanksgiving action, we had the action yesterday on Friday. We've got 10 games between the 1 and the 4 o'clock slate today. So just starting with the 1 o'clock slate, what have you seen early come in?
All right. I'll just start off what's sticking out at the top. Get your odds logic screens up. Arizona, Houston. Arizona, Tampa. That game sticks out a lot because of all the one-sided money on Tampa Bay coupled with short money on Tampa Bay. Here's what happened. The look ahead was 6.5, 6. Okay. They dropped it down to 2.5. Immediately, steam came in on Tampa Bay, -2.5, -3. That didn't last long at all. Since then, it's been the public blasting Tampa Bay that has this up to 3.5. So that's all public money now laying the 3.5 with Tampa Bay. Jacksonville, Tennessee. Actually, I'm pretty sure the books are probably going to need the Jacksonville side because of the wise guy money on Tennessee coupled with some public money on Tennessee. Again, Jacksonville's not a road favorite you're really confident in. Rams, Carolina, steam came in, but I'm not seeing it reflected in the betting line. I'm always cautious of those. I saw some Rams -10 bets in some sharp accounts, but again, not reflected in the betting line. Miami and New Orleans, one-sided Miami action like they have tomorrow's newspaper. Sharps picking off 6s. So if books want to limit any of the risk, all they have to do is go to 6, and they know guys like myself are going to snatch that up because that's what we want. We want New Orleans +6 today against Miami. Atlanta and the Jets, steam on Atlanta, but that was at -1. You're now laying 3, much different number. Cleveland got steam against San Francisco, but more than enough public money to offset that. A lot of public money on San Francisco. I got my subscribers on +7 on Cleveland. We did our job. Hopefully they go out there and do theirs. Buffalo, Pittsburgh, no surprise. They're taking the Buffalo Bills. That'll be one of the heavier later games. And then tonight, still a little early to decide. Looking at 6 across the board. So it looks like not all that much risk so far. But with all the teasers and moneyline parlays, I'm sure they'll be tied into Denver most likely. So that's some of the stuff sticking out off the top of my head. I think you're muted.
I'm frozen. Okay.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Oh, no. I don't know why I'm so frozen today. Okay. So the Shedeur Sanders hype. The Shedeur Sanders hype has been real the last couple of weeks. Of course, he comes in against Baltimore. He looks terrible. And then everyone ends up betting Shedeur last week, and somehow he ends up looking great. So that was against a bad team, though. Now this week.
The worst team.
Right. Now this week, how do we, as a gambler, obviously we have to block out the noise. And we have to think about this completely. Like, okay, do we fade the public here? Are we fading short? Like, where is your mindset on Shedeur Sanders?
Here's what happened. He comes in for limited time and he looked awful. Remember, he threw like 16 attempts, only 4 completions. The narrative was this dude's awful. He's terrible. So what happened? The Raiders got steamed. The Las Vegas Raiders, the worst power rated team, actually got steamed against Cleveland last week. I was one of the idiots that was betting the Raiders that helped that line move up, in fact. So we all have the sharp guys. We all have the Raiders tickets in our pocket. The public, they were on Cleveland. I mean, they were on the other side. They were smart. Anyway, usually we're supposed to go opposite the narrative that he looked so bad, there's going to be value on him. But he looked so bad that there's no confidence at all. So the sharps even fell for that recency bias and faded Shedeur. What does he do? He gets the job done. This week, you're supposed to think the opposite. Now there's going to be an overreaction. Here's the problem. Look across the field. They're playing the San Francisco 49ers. That's where you're getting the benefit. If it was another team, if it was an average team, a below average team, we would be looking to fade Cleveland in this spot. But because it's the San Francisco 49ers, and there isn't all that much confidence in Shedeur. It's not like he went out there and threw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns or anything like that. He simply didn't lose the game for them. I don't see that confidence in betting him that I usually would see. Like, you would get that recency bias, but he didn't look that great. Again, it was against the Raiders, like you said, and he didn't light up the box score or anything like that. He simply didn't make mistakes that cost his team the game. But again, they're playing a tough Niner team that's played better on the road than at home this year. They've won 5 of 7 games, 71% on the road compared to being 60%, 3-2 at home, which usually, isn't sustainable. And they're coming off back-to-back covers where they blew opposition away. So that's why you're not getting the public love on Cleveland, but you are getting the sharps on Cleveland. They took out the 7s, even the 6s. That's why you're looking at 5s right now.
You mentioned earlier the Bills and the Steelers game. So that line was Bills -4.5 last Sunday. Then throughout the week, it dropped to -3.5. We're down to -3. How much of that is money and how much of that is because of a number adjustment to Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, for sure it's the adjustment to Aaron Rodgers more than anything else, because remember, Buffalo's coming off a loss. Buffalo hasn't looked all that good. In fact, they've lost 2 of their last 3. When in doubt, you zoom out. And when I zoom out, I see a 3-3 football team over their last 6. Not the kind of team I'm confident laying points on the road, especially where they're below 500. So I think that's why you started seeing some of that sharp money come in on Pittsburgh, especially above that key number of 3. Because Pittsburgh, even though, they're barely a 6-5 team, one game over 500, they haven't really been getting blown out by margin. Like, they're not getting destroyed. Obviously, this is only a 3-point line. But you look at Buffalo, awesome offense, but a weak strength of schedule and a terrible defense. And now they're going up against Pittsburgh, which had a tougher strength of schedule, a little more balanced on offense and defense. Obviously, Buffalo's offense is, number one in the NFL. But again, that's against a very easy strength of schedule. And without that consistency, I kind of understand why they took the 3.5 with the Pittsburgh side. I think at worst, it's a field goal, if that. And that's if everything goes right for Buffalo.
We've also got questions in the chat asking about any totals today.
Let me see. Let me look at the totals. The San Francisco and Cleveland over now that it's at 35. Obviously, that got steamed down, but now they're looking to bet that one over. Where'd it go? Tampa Bay under, but that line obviously moved a little bit too much from that look ahead. And then where's that Denver? Oh, and then the Sunday night over. They're actually betting the Sunday night game under. Again, it's a little bit early, but over in Denver, Washington. So yeah, the thing with the totals is they move so significantly. A lot of the values extracted. Look at Jacksonville getting hit right now. It looks like, or is it dropping? Wow,
Jacksonville dropping.
Yeah, more Tennessee love.
Yeah, I was seeing that throughout the week too. I saw Jags -7 on Sunday, dropped to 5.5. You can see all this stuff on the Odds Logic screen as well. The totals fluctuated, but it's very low of a total. You still don't like Tennessee though, or you just think that we missed the number?
No, I like Tennessee. I got Tennessee. I got my subscribers down at 7 on Tennessee, so I kind of like where we're sitting. Jacksonville's looked good the last 2 weeks. Beating the Chargers as dogs, beating Arizona on the road in a coin flip game. They've won 3 of their last 4, but 2 of those 3 wins are by 1 score. There's a lot of randomness there. And what I like about Tennessee is even though they're not winning football games, they're still giving us a lot of effort. That's why they've covered 3 straight games. So again, I like that they're not really getting blown away by margin, and they still have something to play for as a 1-10 team. You haven't won a single home game yet. You're 0-6 at home. Give your fans a W. They have a little bit of incentive. And also, you're playing a divisional opponent in Jacksonville that you could ruin some seasons. This is where you could play spoiler in some of these teams that are jockeying for the playoffs. So again, are they going to be motivated? They've shown us effort the last couple of weeks. If they could do that, they could keep it within a touchdown against Jacksonville.
Mr. Reed MN said, should we fade the public with Houston and bet Indy today?
Oh, fade the public with Houston and bet Indy, he said, right? That would be fading the public because it is heavier for sure on the Houston side. And anytime you see public money on a dog, always red flags go up for me because, we know the bias is usually favorites and over. It's like if they like an under heavily, you got to pay attention to it. Obviously, the sharp money took out the 3.5, but that could be just the numbers play. Those 3s, 7s, anytime around key number, not surprising. But the look ahead was higher, was 4.5, and since then it's dropped. So you're kind of getting a discounted Indianapolis team that I do think still has plenty to play for, especially coming off last week. If I haven't bet this game, but if I had to, I would look to Indianapolis to bounce back. Again, another team that's now lost 2 of their last 3, but both those games by a single score. And Houston's red hot, winning 3 straight. But ATS, they're barely 500 this year. Market's done a good job pricing them. I think if you took the 4.5 on Houston, I get it. Right now, I think it's Indianapolis or pass.
We've also got this game tonight, Denver, Washington, and then we've got Giants and Patriots tomorrow, the 2 primetime games. What did you see there?
Yeah, Denver, Washington. I thought it would be one-sided Denver because of just how, good Denver's playing. Not only are they winning games, they've covered 3 of their last 4. And then what's to be attracted with Washington? It's a team that hasn't won since the first week of October. In fact, they haven't covered a single game since the first week of October. And yet we're not at 7. In fact, we were at 6.5 this morning and it's dropped. So there is sharp money on Washington. And I actually have this one power rated a lot closer also. I actually make Denver about a 4.5 point favorite. And the reason's simple. Denver's had about the 30th toughest strength of schedule. Only 2 teams had an easier go of it. And they still only have a top 25 offense. Like they're barely in the top 25 offensively. And they've had the easiest strength of schedule. I don't want to be laying a lot of points with a team that struggles like that offensively. Now, granted, they're a top 5 team on the defensive side of the ball, but once again, they've had an easy strength of schedule. When I look at Washington, their offense and defense, again, nothing to write home about, but they've had a top 15 strength of schedule. Like, so you expect a team like that to be mid-tier, which is exactly what they are. Their defense is struggling. That's what worries me a little bit. I would have liked their defense to be better than their offense, but it's the other way around. I'd be more confident. But I do think it's a little too many points for the Denver Broncos. And I kind of think this total's dropped a little bit too low, too, down around that 43. So for me, I like the dog. Haven't touched the total, but I do lean over. And Monday night, oh, what a good Monday night game. You're going to get a lot of a two-way action, I think, because it's up over a touchdown in a lot of places. But more importantly, you're going to have a lot of risk on New England Patriots teasers and moneyline parlays, especially if Denver covers tonight. There's going to be a lot tied into New England, which should force the books to move that line and give you a discount. The problem with New England is they're winning games but not covering. And the reason is they can't win by margin. And why? Because they've had an easy strength of schedule and their stats are average at best. Nothing to be excited about. Giants covered 3 straight now, and they've covered 5 of their last 7. So when they're losing, they're not getting blown out. So even though they've lost 6 straight, they're not getting blown out. And now you're looking at up over a touchdown. I still think this ain't high enough. I think there's a little recency bias because of how well the Giants have been playing. ATS. I live in the world where you lay 11 to win 10. I don't care about straight up records. I care about ATS. And I think because of that, you're kind of getting a little bit of discount because the look ahead was 7.5 for New England. And I thought it would climb up to 8, maybe 8.5 for teaser protection. That isn't happening. So it looks to me like they are getting some two-way action and not one-sided New England. I like New England. I don't love it. Haven't gotten to the window. I don't want to paint myself in a corner because I may be on Giants tomorrow. But just looking at it from now, that sticks out to me a little bit. I think there's a little short on the line.
Yanni, before I let you go, we know that everybody in the world loves to bet the NFL, but we know other people are smart enough to know the other sports that are happening today are the sports that you can make some money on because the sports books are very heavy on the NFL today.
Oh, yeah.
College basketball, the other sports you listed, anything else that you're seeing that people should be taking a look at? And I know you have some things to promote as well.
Absolutely. I'll just read off some of the plays that are in this theme sheet because that has saved me from the heavy volume, but my subscribers still get all the steam and information. Here's some of the moves that they hit. College basketball, 741, Tennessee State, +9, +9.5. 746, Texas Tech, -19, 19.5, and 20. College of Charleston, +3.5 and 3. And then added board, let's go with Maine, +12, +11.5, and 11. NBA, they took 526 Portland from +13 down to +12. San Antonio +4. And then under 234.5, New Orleans and Lakers. So you're covered in NBA and college basketball. Do some damage today.
Do some damage today, Yanni.
At 9 a.m. Eastern, we'll be going through all the NFL games, side, total, player props, plus EVT.
You mean 9 Pacific?
Damage. 9 Eastern. Oh, 12 Eastern. Yes, 9 Pacific. Yes.
Okay, so 12 Eastern time.
Yep.
Guys, check out right after this. Go over to the steam room, get every game that Yanni
everything. We're covering it all. My NFL package, I'm doing like last week. Only 4% are in there. Like I said, 15 and 7 coming into this since Thanksgiving, and the Sunday night football games in there also, not separate. So looking for a big day in NFL. Best of luck to all you guys, whether you follow or fade. Hope you do some damage.
Thanks so much, Yanni. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Coming on the show now is my very good friend from over in Las Vegas, even though Kelly in Vegas tries to make him move to Florida. I think he's actually really being nice today, though, joining the show because I think his mom is in town. It's obviously Thanksgiving. John Murray, you left. Is mom gone, or did you really just leave her for us?
Me and mom went to Del Mar on Friday. We went to the racetrack. And then it was great. It was awesome. And then she flew back to Virginia. I flew back to Las Vegas. I have to come in here on Sundays, pretend that the NFL is entertaining. Isn't that what we all do on Sundays?
So John Murray, instead of John Murray, Westgate Superbook, it's John Murray hates refs.
I find it silly. I think it's very silly. But people love it. People love the NFL. I know you love the NFL. You went to an NFL game on Thursday, did you not?
Do you hear what happened to me because I decided to go to that game? I am now sick because I decided to be sick in the head and watch the Ref Bowl on Thursday night.
I don't know
why is that? Why is when you fumble the ball in the end zone, why is that still a freaking call that the ball goes to the other team as a touchback? And why was the Zay Flowers call an OPI?
What's going on with your quarterback? In all seriousness, is he injured? He missed some throws in that game.
He was talking to people on social media after the game.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. It's so annoying. But anyway, my team's clearly not making people money, so let's make people money. John Murray, what are the needs of the day?
The needs. But you know what? I need you to do this show. Last week, Kelly surprised me and was my co-host. I didn't even know she was going to be on the show. I thought she was one of those perma vacationers. I didn't know she still did anything.
Saturdays. She works Saturdays.
Let's see. We'll need these games. We'll need Houston this morning. They play Indianapolis. I guess that's a game. We need Cleveland. I mean, how many times have I said that over the last 20 years? Cleveland at home against the 49ers. We'll definitely want them. We'll want Minnesota to at least cover. If they could win, that'd be super. But we definitely want them to cover. Let's see. This is the worst slate of games I think I've ever seen. And we'll need Pittsburgh. We'll need Pittsburgh. We'll need the Raiders. And then you've got two games. Both the primetime games are like around a touchdown-ish. So we'll need both the dogs. We'll need the Commandos, a.k.a. the Commanders, and I think tomorrow night we'll need the New York Football Giants. So we got a lot of dogs. You don't need
the Titans today, though, so that's pretty good.
I didn't see a lot of money on that game. I mean, yeah, we'd rather the Titans win, no doubt. Wow. But it's not like it doesn't look to be as big. You know what? We need the Cardinals. We need Arizona. We need Arizona.
Oh.
Again, hey, come on. We need Arizona against Tampa Bay. So
that makes sense. A lot of money's coming in on Tampa, and I feel like now it's become very public.
It's a rough slate of games. Like what are you gonna watch at your
Red
home?
Zone?
Red Zone. Is that what people do?
Yeah, I'll probably watch. I mean, I have 3 things that I watch on, so I'll watch Red Zone, right, and then I'll see which game's kind of close, and I'll turn that game on. I don't know. I just kind of play around with it.
You don't seem like you're that excited about it.
I'm tired. I haven't been able to sleep much because of this cold, and I was at grandma's house, and my dog doesn't really like to be out of environments that she's not used to. So she woke up at like 6 a.m. every morning for a week. I'm exhausted, but it's okay. We're here.
I got my dog. I got my pug here. I'm trying to get him to come over to me. He's actually chewing on a box of Superbook polo shirts that's in my office. Not on the shirts. The shirts are being left alone.
Good. Well,
it's the
honestly,
actual
people
cardboard
like anything
box
with the dog's touch.
People love dogs, but he's chewing on the actual Mario, stop that, buddy. He's chewing on the actual box, so it's okay.
It's okay. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
I'm going to continue with the NFL in a second, but I know in 5 minutes there is a big football match in Europe.
Yeah.
I'm going to know your thoughts.
Who asked that question? One of your listeners?
Someone in the chat, like at the beginning of the show, wanted your thoughts. I think it was Arsenal. Is that who plays?
Yeah,
today?
Arsenal plays Chelsea. Unfortunately, it looks like Arsenal, they're owned by the Walmart people. That's how they have all this money.
Oh.
So, most of the big soccer clubs are owned by Americans. I don't think people realize that. But yeah, they're owned by the Walmart people, and it looks like they've spent enough money to finally win a trophy. Arsenal never wins anything, but it looks like they are finally going to win something this year. We took a little bit of money on the over 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a big need on the game, but there's a little bit of money on the game. Big game, Chelsea versus Arsenal.
Is that what you're going to be watching?
I'll watch that, and then I'll watch. This is what I do on Sundays, just so that the people, your fans, know. I watch the soccer games, and then I watch horse racing, and then I do watch the NFL the last 10 minutes or so of the game because I need to know who won so I can do these shows. But I'm not going to sit there for 4 hours and act like it's not terrible because it's awful. But I always watch the ends of the games so I can see who wins.
That's okay. I mean, honestly, all you really need is the fourth quarter and seeing all.
What more do you need? What more do you need?
100, totally. And let's get to totals because we've got some people in the chat asking what totals you guys need.
Yeah, it's a good question. We need the under in Arizona, Tampa Bay. That total right now is at 44.5. We would want to see that thing stay under that number. It looks like we'll end up needing the under in all likelihood in the night game. And how are the Commanders on Sunday Night Football, by the way?
Well, they're supposed to have their quarterback. That's your team.
Well, they don't flex those games out anymore.
Maybe
what happened to
it's
that?
too early to flex.
Too early for the flex. I'd say that one will need under. And there's a little bit of money on over in the San Francisco game, which is actually a little unusual because usually with those really, really low totals, they like to bet them under. But they've bet that one over. Right now we're at 35. That should be a good game.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be fun. John Fizel wants to know best dog of the day.
Best dog of the day in whose
What's your
opinion?
dog of the day?
My dog of the day. Oh boy, good question, man. Let's see here. I could see Pittsburgh beating Buffalo. I don't think Buffalo
will be happy about that.
I don't think Buffalo's a good team. I really don't. I've watched an unfortunate amount of them play this season. I don't like the coaching staff. I don't think that they have a good roster. I think that I know they have a great player at quarterback, but I don't think that they're a very good team overall, and they're really banged up on the offensive line today. So that could be a real problem for them against that pass rush in Pittsburgh.
Well, that my question, I asked Yanni this, and I'll ask you since you actually do set the lines. How much of that adjustment from Buffalo -4.5 to -3 was because Aaron Rodgers is playing, or was it sharp money coming in?
I don't think it's Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know if there's a big difference between Rodgers and Rudolph. I think it's got more to do with the injuries along Buffalo's offensive line. Buffalo just not looking very good. I mean, I know that's not the most scientific way of putting it. Buffalo does not look good right now. Should they be laying a lot of points on the road against Pittsburgh? I don't think so. I mean, when was the last time Buffalo won a big game on the road?
Well, I just don't have much faith in Aaron Rodgers. Oh, do we have a puppy?
I'm getting him here. I'm gonna get him. He's a real ham. He likes to be on TV.
Oh, Mario.
Here he is. Little Mario.
Hi, cutie.
Yeah.
I wish I could lift my dog up like that.
How big? What does your dog weigh?
45 pounds.
Oh, geez. Yeah. So him and his sister are both like 18 pounds. So if I need to, I can just pick them both up when they're being bad, which is always.
You like that control?
I guess. I mean, it makes it easier because he doesn't exactly listen to anything. He just does whatever he wants. I guess when you have a face like this, you just do whatever you want, I guess, right?
That's true. They live the best life. I want to come back in my next life as a dog. It's nice to see John have a barking dog now.
Well, it's funny, but his sister, who you've met, who actually you once kidnapped from my home,
we did.
Ellie is a real barker. She's a howler. She's a beagle.
Which is why she can't go into work.
Yeah, because if I leave my office, she howls until I get back. So I can't bring her in. I'll just give him to one of my coworkers, and he'll be fine.
See, Marley is a beagle hound mix, and she actually doesn't bark much, except when she wants to play.
Huh. Wow. Oh, geez. Well, that's not true.
Girl. She's very well trained.
That's great.
I'm a dog expert. So are you.
He's not
Barking
very
dog.
trained.
Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm in baseball mode already, clearly. Can you give sharp plays with the spread? We did that, guys. We did.
Well,
Houston,
we
Cleveland.
gave needs. I don't know. I mean, I would say sharp plays. Atlanta's a
Sharp plays
team.
Atlanta.
Atlanta got a lot of sharp money. Indianapolis, or not Indianapolis. Scratch that. Houston got some sharp money against Indianapolis. Let's see. When Pittsburgh was plus 3.5, they played Pittsburgh. When the Commanders were plus 6.5, they played the Commanders. And I think that I think you're going to see some real pros Joes action tomorrow night in the Monday night game. I think the public loves New England. And
They
can you
love
blame
New England.
Can you blame them? They win every week. I don't. At some point you have to just say that the public is right to be backing this team that always wins and always covers. They like New England. I've seen some sharp guys say they like the Giants.
Yeah. I mean, I just am not buying the New England hype, but I wasn't buying the Indianapolis hype. And look at what's gone on with the Colts. The New England hype, they've just had the easiest schedule. So it's so hard to feel like they're actually legit.
Well, I think that I will say this, all kidding aside, I think the AFC future book this season is one of the most interesting future books I've ever seen since I've been in the industry, because you have 5 teams that all basically have the same odds. Denver and New England because of their records, because they're going to have home field, and then Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore because those are the 3 teams in some order that we think are the actual best teams in the AFC. So what's going to happen in the playoffs? I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen in the AFC playoffs. I think over in the NFC, the Rams are pretty clearly the best team. But in the AFC, I don't know what's going to happen. You're going to have the better teams with more playoff experience going on the road to play these young teams with young quarterbacks. And I don't know what's going to happen. It should be pretty interesting AFC playoffs.
Who do you like the most out of the AFC?
I think I mean, it's hard to say this after what we just watched on Thursday, but I do believe if everybody was healthy, that Baltimore would be the best team, but clearly they're not healthy. There has to be something wrong with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, or he's going blind.
I mean, some of the throws that he missed.
He wasn't moving badly, but the problem, remember, his injury was the ankle.
Right.
But the movement wasn't the problem. It was his arm.
Yeah. Oh, he missed some easy throws. I think I would still say probably Baltimore, but the team that could be dangerous if they get there is Kansas City. They know how to win.
It's their enemy year, though.
Their coaching staff.
You know, Kelly and I love astrology.
Kelly loves a lot of things, but including dogs. She just got a new dog, Ryder.
She did, Ryder.
Yeah, he's cute, but I think Kansas City's coaching staff is not going to make the mistakes at the end of the game that Buffalo's coaching staff always seems to make. And so I have to trust them more than I trust Buffalo. Denver and New England, we'll see. I don't really like Bo Nix, to be honest with you. I don't really
Kelly.
Yeah, I don't really think. Well, Kelly's very negative. You know, Kelly's very negative.
That's why we're best friends.
Yeah, I'm more.
You're an optimist.
I'm more, easygoing, optimistic,
You're
fun-loving.
An optimist who just hates refs.
I don't think the NFL product is very good. I
not been much of good this year.
I recognize that it's very good for business. Very, very good for business.
And that's about where it ends. Your dog is great for business, too. Hello, Mario. I'll let you go be with your dog. Go say hi to Ellie for us. Marley is curled up in a ball underneath the desk right now. She is not pick-upable. She is too big for me, but she's
let me tell you, this guy's favorite thing in the world, and I'll let you guys go. He likes to get just truck sticked by a bigger dog. I mean, trucked. And then he'll get off his back, run towards that dog, bite him or her on their leg, and then run away squealing in delight at what he just got away with. That is his favorite thing to do. He loves to be chased. He loves to wrestle with dogs that are 2, 3, 4 times his size.
Perfect. So come to New York, bring Mario, and him and Marley can play.
He'd love it.
Marley and Mario.
He would love it.
John Murray, thank you for the needs. Thank you for the totals. We appreciate you. Have a great Sunday.
See you, kid.
Coming on now, we are going to be joined by WagerTalk's own David Delano. He's going to answer all of you. Oh, Dave is not in here. Well, that's not good. Well, then it's just me. So if Dave's not here, then I'll just go through my props of the day. Let's get to some props. And you can find all these at thepropqueen.com, where I post all of my long lists of props every day in the NFL. So starting with over on receiving yards, I actually told this to Kelly earlier this week. She texted me. She said, what's some early props that you would look at? So the Bucs have allowed the most receiving yards per game to running backs. Michael Carter, and again, this is just figuring out the running back room because there's some injuries there in Arizona, but Michael Carter, he's gone over his receiving yard prop in 5 of 7 games this year, facing teams bottom 10 against pass-catching backs. He's racked up at least 15 receiving yards in 3 of those 5 games, dating back to last year. 67% of running backs have gone over their receiving yard prop against Tampa. If you do believe that this Titans-Jaguars game is going to be close, Cam Ward over his pass attempts, 33.5. He's gone over in 4 of 6 home games. Facing teams bottom 10 in pass attempts allowed this season, Ward's had at least 33 pass attempts in all 4 games, 38-plus pass attempts in 3 of those 4 games. The Jaguars have allowed the 3rd most pass attempts per game. 64% of quarterbacks have gone over their pass attempt prop against the Jags. Some longest reception props. You guys know I like those. Tennessee's tight end, Chig Nkonkwo, over his longest reception. Brian Thomas over his longest reception. He leads the Jags wide receivers in longest receptions. What else did I like today? Juwan Johnson over 17.5 yards for his longest reception. The Saints tight end is getting a terrible Dolphins D against tight ends. Johnson's gone over this in 2 of 3 road games with Tyler Show at quarterback. Dating back to last year, Johnson's averaging 23 yards per longest catch when facing a team bottom 10 against tight ends. The Dolphins have allowed the 5th most receiving yards per game to tight ends this year. 65% of tight ends have gone over their longest reception prop when going up against this defense. Let's see. If you feel like you want some action in the Bills-Steelers game, Josh Allen over his passing yards. I know on the road the Bills haven't been great, but that's why he's going to have to throw the football. He's thrown at least 300 passing yards in both games that he's faced this year that are bottom 10 in passing yards allowed. Pittsburgh, even though their pass rush is good, Allen's mobile enough and could get out of some jams. And Pittsburgh, their secondary's been bad. They've allowed the most passing yards per game this year. 270-plus passing yards in 2 of 3 games against Pittsburgh for Josh Allen in his career. 82% of quarterbacks have gone over their passing yard prop against the Steelers. Okay, I'm still going. I guess no date. I guess Delano's not going to come on today. Geno Smith under his completions. So it's so unconventional that Geno Smith went over against the Chargers on his completions in the first matchup. And I'll tell you why. This year, the Chargers have allowed the 3rd least completions per game to quarterbacks. There have been 3 quarterbacks to go over their completion prop this year against the Chargers. Patrick Mahomes, Daniel Jones, and Geno Smith. Now that we are getting a second game of Geno up against the Chargers, it ain't happening again. He had 10 and 16 completions, Geno, this year on the road in divisional games. Getting them a second time, Chargers D will be good enough to limit Geno Smith. So we're going under completions on Geno Smith. So those are some of the props that I like the most today. Again, you can check it out at thepropqueen.com. We definitely have all the different props posted that are great. And make sure to go and look at your Odds Logic board. You could do oddslogic.com/propqueen. Subscribe today and get all of the line movements and best odds in the marketplace. For us here on WagerTalk's Last Call, I'm the prop queen, Ariel Epstein. Thank you to John Murray. Thank you to Yanni the Greek for coming on the show. And again, if you need the needs, John Murray said the Superbook needs Houston, Cleveland, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Raiders, both primetime dogs for Sunday night and Monday Night Football. Arizona, the under in Arizona, Tampa, and the under in Denver and Washington. Those are the needs of the day. Thank you, everyone, for dealing with my cold. I'm sorry I don't normally sound like this. I am super congested. Thank you to the Ravens for ruining my Thanksgiving. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. We will see you guys next week here on WagerTalk's Last Call.